All right, hello families, hello students. So I am making this video because I want to go over one important part of the writing process that we're going to be needing for the next 2 weeks. And that is this first part that you're doing from Monday through Thursday. So from Monday until Wednesday, I asked you to go ahead and analyze the sources, which means that you are spending time reading the articles that were provided. So you were given 2 articles. That means you're spending the time to read and analyze those. That means that you're also taking time to watch those videos on that website that I posted as well. So you're taking the time to really learn about the topic. So you're thinking about the writing prompt, which is you're forming an opinion on animals in zoos. Okay, and you're writing about whether animals should be kept in zoos or whether they should not be kept in zoos. So I'm gonna briefly explain how this early part of the writing process is really gonna set you up for success. So the first step is, like I said, you're reading the articles, you're watching the videos, you're learning about the topic, and you're starting to form an opinion. So here I have the 2 articles with me. So I have both articles, the one on zoocosis as well as the one from ReadWorks, which is Debate Are Zoos Bad News? So just to give you a heads up of what I did with both of these. So with both of these articles, I spent some time reading them deeply. Now, I went ahead and highlighted, I took notes, and as you can see, you'll see the letter N or B next to certain notes. So if I put an N next to something after I highlighted it, that means that that's one of the negatives about animals in zoos. Now, if I put a B, that means it's one of the benefits of animals in zoos. So before we go further, I'm going to briefly explain what those mean. So if we're talking about the negatives of animals in zoos, that means all the bad things that are affiliated with animals being in zoos. And we'll talk about those in a moment. Now, when we use the word benefits, that means all the good things about animals being in zoos. And yes, there's 2 sides to this argument, which is what I briefly want to go over. So these articles, as well as the videos that you're watching, they go ahead and explain both sides of the argument. So as you can see, even on this one article, the debate one, I highlighted things and put an N next to them as well as B's next to them. That's because I went ahead and I'm showing you that there's 2 sides to the arguments. So this is just an example. Now, here's what I want us to do. From Monday until Wednesday, you are simply reading the articles, you are watching the videos. If you need to take notes, go ahead and take notes. If you need to highlight, go ahead and highlight. If you need to write on the article, go ahead and do it. If you can't print them out, but you want to go ahead and take out your notebook and write notes in there about the articles and the videos, feel free to do that. Whatever works best for you. So now, on Thursday, I asked you to go ahead and do these. Now, again, if you don't have a printer, you can just do them on a separate sheet of paper. You can just put this as your title and then go ahead and make a list. And if you finish reading the articles early and you finish watching the videos early, you can actually start these earlier because it's only going to help you. So I'm going to briefly, and that way you have more time for them as well. So I'm going to briefly go ahead and show you how to do these 2 pages. So again, I'm just going to do a quick example for you, just so that you get the idea. But like I said, there are 2 sides to this issue. There are people that are gonna say why animals should be in zoos, and there's gonna be people who say why they shouldn't be in zoos. So I'm gonna go ahead and look at my articles. And I'm gonna go ahead and see, one of the first things I highlighted was this. It says, critics say that zoos are more like prisons, and that zoos drive many animals crazy by confining them. So I know, just reading it, that sounds like a bad thing to me. So I went ahead and put the N next to that. So one thing I can write on my list about negatives of animals in zoos is I can go ahead and write that animals can go crazy by being confined in zoos. All right, so that's one thing I can write as a negative. Now, going through all the articles, going through the videos, you're going to write as many as you can because it's going to help you start forming your opinion. Next, I'm going to think about what does it say about good reasons why animals should be in zoos. In your videos and the articles, you're going to find some reasons. I know that I had a B highlighted over here on my article. It says zoos play a major role in educating people about animals and promoting wildlife conservation. So, one reason I can say right here under benefits of animals in zoos is I can say zoos help educate people about animals. And if you don't know what that means that, again, kind of like you go to school to get an education, kind of like we're doing distance learning so that you can continue your education. The word education means that you're learning. So if we're saying that zoos help educate people about animals, that means that they're helping teach people some things about animals. So these are just two examples. You're going to write out as many as you can for both lists, okay? And try to get as much data, facts, and research as you can. As you can see, I made some highlights and some notes on mine, but there's still a lot more I could have taken note of. These articles have a lot of facts that you can use for your essay. So feel free to use as many as you can, and same with the videos. Take notes on the videos, make sure that you're following for all the facts and information you can find. And it's going to set it up. If you follow this instruction, it's going to help set it up so that you can have an awesome essay at the end of this. So feel free to reach out if you need any help. Have a great day. Bye.